What's going on, YouTube and y'all squad? This is your boy Yocrates. This is your review for Belle Collective Season 2, Episode 11, Reunion Part 2. Look, I have been going through my technology. This review almost did not happen. And not just that, I done got the flu vaccine and the pneumonia vaccine that's kicking my butt right now. So look, I'm gonna do what I can. Hopefully this all pans out. And look, just pray that everything technology wise is resolved before Monday, because you know I'm hosting the panel. That would be a disaster. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So the DNA results, we have those. We have Tisha shaking. He's not the father. You have Glenn saying, "I told you, man," but at the same exact time of you saying that, you were like clutching her hand and all this other stuff, like you were in denial. But okay. Glenn is, spit game to Tisha, trying to console her. She's like, yeah, yeah. It almost kind of like, I heard this all before type of stuff, but okay. Glenn wants to be the man that she needs him to be. That's kind of like a little bit too late, but this is one of the things where even though that's good, you need to be that man for you. So, because I mean, if you try to sit here and be something with somebody else, it's not going to last long. Just saying. Carlos says that he needs to reintroduce himself to his wife. And honestly, I think that in marriages or in relationships in general, there needs to be a reintroduction after so many years, because people change, people evolve. What somebody accepted, 5 years ago, they might not accept now. So you have to, at times, relearn somebody. But he said, reintroduce yourself. And then he said some men feel that since they provide a lifestyle that they can do bad things. And in this particular case, he's not providing. Well, he might be, but from what we're gathering, he's not necessarily providing a lifestyle. But I know he was speaking in general. And says that she needs to have her dreams too. It's not fair for her to put her dreams on hold for the sake of keeping a man slash marriage, which is, I mean, yeah, I see that. So we get the men's segment. We get more dialogue from the fishing trip than what we actually got on the episode. And I forgot who said it, but one of the ladies said like they ain't show all of that because they didn't. But good to see. So with JJ and Cliff, Cliff sleeping with his ex. The boys pretty much piling on Cliff. Cliff says that he did not sleep with her. We were wide awoke, and this is, the type of stuff that us dudes do, where rather than just answer, even we know what the question is, so rather than just answer, we want to sit here and play around with it. So then Carlos is like, "Did you have sexual relations with her?" Yes, and that was well before Latrice. All right, cool, whatever. We get Tamra and Damon. Damon says he never dated Taisha. Okay. I mean, look, I feel a ways about their relationships last on, but whatever. He didn't date her. They were friends, not sexual. He was asked if they kissed, and he was kind of quiet, kind of like rolled his head or whatever. Which I'm like, I probably would have expected that more or less from where y'all sexual, but okay. And Carlos asks why she's saying these things now, and he answers saying she could have had this conversation years ago. Tamara says Tasha's lying. She's seen her many times before. The camera started rolling. There was no conversation and there's no connection. Carlos mentions never seeing this version of Tamara and Taisha, or Taisha bringing it out. And Tamara said season one, when she was decorating the set, which we didn't know that. But apparently, she was going around saying she had tea on everybody. And even then, the show had happened, the season had wrapped. If there was ever a time for you to have said something, that would have been an opportune time too. Pretty much just saying she really just wanted to be on the show and have a storyline, which as a friend of, I mean, not saying that you can't have a storyline, but in this particular instance, like I could see, Essie, having a storyline as a friend of. I could see Melanie having a storyline as a friend of. We just met Taisha, so yeah, no. And yeah, I already said that she was trying to get on the show, found out that she was sending emails to production, this, that, and the third. We find out that Taisha is Glenn's ex sister in law, and they made a joke about the sip being that small. I ain't touching that. Damon says that this has been going on since last year, and he couldn't handle it how he wanted to, and pretty much just the whole man versus woman optics. And you know how us men are socialized. For the most part, we're only told that we can only have a handful of emotion. That's being happy or angry for the most part. Like anything in the in between, you can't have because it's considered weak and all this other stuff. So for him, he probably would not have had the words or the emotional bandwidth to actually have a conversation without snapping off. But he chose not to do that because the optics would be bad. And he said that he could have crushed her. You could have kept that, but okay. Um, we find, well, it's confirmed that Tambra and Damon, they are together. They're living with each other. They're having unprotected sex. Tambra isn't pregnant and thought it would happen after 1 to 3 times. Carlos shady ass gonna say so. No, unless you are a Pearson, which is Letitia and Glenn, and they always like, ooh, that was shady. Even though he tried to play it off as a joke, jokes can be shade too. Anyway, we get Willie and Ikea. Willie is more comfortable in Jackson. Moving on. Cliff and Latrice, the baby is still on hold. Cliff pretty much says he supports her and that he has to. The question of how did it feel, Cliff hearing Latrice's mother say that she married her father. And Cliff says it looks like she was looking for a father figure, so I guess, things turned out good. Latrice feels that her mother's assessment of her marrying her father was correct. And she says growing up without a father is rough. You're always seeking his attention. And that could be the reason that she dated an older guy. No, they ain't no could be. And says that they do have issues. She feels with those issues they won't be good parents until those things are resolved. So at this time, it's a no again, which is understandable. So we get So Gucci and JJ. My only thing with this whole entire thing, especially when colorism comes up, is I don't like how we can talk about a serious issue, but it's like literally glossed over. Like if we're not gonna sit here and go into it, I mean, granted, it came up, but it's just like, but anyway. Sky's at school for dance. She's a co-captain, so she's not there. The girls are asked about how things are now. Dee says things are still, shaky. We have to talk about it multiple times before, we get to a solution. Um, one talk won't solve everything, and she feels that, therapy session is needed until things get healthy, which is, I mean, the truth. Like, just discussing something one time doesn't make everything all right, especially where there was no resolve, there was no commitments or anything like that made. It was just a conversation being had, which is nice, but that doesn't solve everything overnight, right? So one of JJ's daughter agree, they're cordial, but don't have the sister relationship. They haven't had a heart-to-heart conversation yet. I don't know why, but maybe they're saving it for season 3. Colorism comes up. Dee felt she was treated differently because of her skin tone, but this is one of the things, to remember. This is how she felt. Not to say that it didn't happen, but again, we can't, negate how somebody felt. Now unless we gonna get some more evidence, that's just how she felt. We gonna press on from there. So Gucci is asked about this scene as how she's a chocolate skinned woman, and she says that it's her fault. She should have instilled that confidence in her. And my thing is that's very surface. That has nothing to do with this. Like you can sit here and have all the confidence in the world, but if you are experiencing colorism, all the confidence in the world is not going to change what you are experiencing. You're still going to experience it. Maybe your outlook is different, but you're still experiencing it. And what this is giving me is, you're treating the symptom, but you're not treating the cause. And that is an issue that, well, hell, a lot of relationships where it's like rather than sit here and truly handle the problem, you just want to, tackle one piece of the problem, which doesn't do anything. Again, it's putting the band-aid on the situation. One of JJ's daughters says that in life, lighter skinned people do get treated better, but not in their situation. Now, I will say I can appreciate, that daughter being self aware to know, hey, this does happen. And let's be clear, when there's certain structures that exist in the world, some people tend to play into it, whether it be fair or not. That's just like saying that certain biases don't exist in the world and certain people don't have certain privileges. It exists, and some people don't want to admit it because then they have to admit that I play into it. Which, hey, if it's there, I mean, it is what it is. Never mind. I'm going off topic. Let me get back here because we're gonna be here all day. And this reunion part two didn't really give us a lot. Anyway, JJ feels that the celebrity might play a role in how his girls are. Okay, cool, whatever. Again, we're not really tackling nothing. Like at this point, it seems like we're just trying to get through, these other women's storylines and whatnot, so we could wrap up the reunion. Marie's comment about light eyes, is brought up, and she is this a Southern thing? No, this is worldwide. Like again, it's like I know Carlos is not that silly and not that stupid. This is and I'm not just saying U.S. This is a worldwide situation when it comes to colorism and what happens. I'm just saying. But anyway, Marie says, they can be real or fake, and my thing is just stand in what you said. Like seriously, just stand in what you said. But anyway, IKEA brings up, the ugly comment and Marie saying that, well, obviously I guess Tamara's the only cute one because she's light skinned. IKEA says it has nothing to do with being dark. In essence, yes, it does. Now, maybe your statement, even though you want to act as if you didn't say it, maybe your statement has nothing to do with it, but we're not going to pretend as if in the world, or if we're just going to scale it down and just say in America, yes, that is a thing. Where you have a lot of people, gorgeous, beautiful, chocolate, all the way to real dark skin men and women. Stunning. But because of how we have been conditioned, we're conditioned to believe that that is ugly, period. And if many of us really want to sit here and get real, a lot of us, we have either, contributed to colorism or experienced it. And a lot of that, yes, a lot of us have been conditioned to think that dark skin is ugly, light skin is acceptable. So for her to say it has nothing to do with being dark in general, you're lying. Maybe in your situation, probably not. But anyway, she wanted to know if it was an issue for her. Marie says it was just shade. I don't believe it, but whatever. So we wrap up with wrap everything up. So Marie says, her mom, she has given up on her. Jerez in South Carolina on a basketball scholarship. He's still being a good dad. I don't know how, but okay, if that's what she said, that's what she say. Tamara is doing good. She's busy, cool. Latrice has closed on the building for her new establishment, well, her new headquarters. Her and Cliff are opening up Airbnbs. They have two, so their goal is 30. They have two successfully, so good for them. IKEA is still working on Fair Street. She's formed a group, to develop the blog, and they've sent up the proposal. Hopefully, that comes to fruition. I hope it does. So Gucci is taking her broker class. I don't know much about real estate, so I don't know really what that means. Y'all get me together in the comments. But says that she's expanding her business and fitness. Letitia is coming out with a collection, self-help books. That one I'm like, and it's a consultant for Hamilton Davis amongst other things. So that is it. That is the reunion. That is part two. Yeah. So that's all that I have. So then yeah, I'm gonna see you all on Monday, and hopefully y'all are here, and hopefully my technology is not, being a douche, and we will have a good time. So until then, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see you all for the next video. Peace.